Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. I've been a fan of Apple since my first PowerBook G4 that I picked up when I was just 15 years old. And if you're anything like me, you probably owned your fair share of Apple gear over the last few years. The problem for most people though is that Apple is a premium product. It's expensive, and it's expensive because they make amazing products. Well, today I'm going to tell you how I've managed to get discounted Apple gear periodically over the last few years, and in some cases got over 50% off. I'm going to show you multiple examples of how you can do the same thing, and hopefully some of you will be able to adopt the same approach. Now, full disclaimer up front, this video is primarily aimed at freelancers or people that own their own businesses. But if you are thinking of becoming a freelancer or a sole trader, then this video is definitely going to be useful for you as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first part of this video is going to be talking about the Apple Refurbished program. Now, if you've already heard of Apple's Refurbished program, then great. But so many of my friends don't seem to be aware of it at all, so I thought it would be worth covering in case you've missed it. And before you start thinking, oh god, he's talking about some second-hand products, bear with me, because Apple's refurb program is totally different to other refurb products out there. There's kind of no other company in the world that comes close to matching this program, with maybe the exception of Patagonia, who have an unbelievably good used clothes program called Worn Wear. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. So the first thing to say is that Apple refurbished products are amazing. Not in any way do Apple refurbs feel or look like used products. It basically allows you to get up to 15% off almost new releases, and sometimes even more discount off even older products. To get to the Apple Refurbished store, just scroll down to the bottom of any Apple webpage and click on the Apple Refurbished link in the footer. Interestingly, Apple doesn't really call attention to this in any of their marketing, so you'll need to know that it's there. And from there, you can have a look at what's available. Just a side note here guys, I'm on the UK store here, so what I can see will be different to the US store or the Canada store, or anywhere else you are. And also, these products change daily as well. One thing I would say though is that stuff goes very quickly, so you need to be checking regularly if there's something you really want. So just keep your eyes peeled, be patient, and eventually something will pop up. You're not going to see brand new stuff on the Refurbished store, but after about 12 months, generally really new things will start to pop up, so just be ready for that. Also, just be aware that the exterior of the boxes that your refurbished product comes in can sometimes be a little bit different, and it will always say Apple Certified Refurbished as well. So if you're buying something as a gift, like I often do, just make sure you're upfront and honest with people about how it's a refurbished product. And just be prepared that the boxes may not be as colourful as they sometimes are new. The great thing is though that these products basically feel and look brand new. And Apple treat them new as well, so you still get the 1-year warranty, which is pretty cool. But basically you can get really great products on here at unbelievable prices and save a nice chunk of dough. Hot tip, if you're a student, you can sometimes get discounts on things up to 15% off brand new, so head over to the education store for that instead. So now that you've got to grips with the Apple Refurbished program, the next element to this video is sales tax. So in the UK, sales tax is called VAT, which stands for Value Added Tax, which at the moment is 20%, which is pretty high. But essentially, if you're a registered business in the UK, you can actually claim back business expenses against any profit earned. Now, because I run my own business, I can claim back sales tax against any purchases I made that could be considered expenses for my business. And because I work from home, a lot of my expenses can actually be claimed back as valid business expenses. If you're based in the US, you can also claim back tax deductible business expenses, but just double check the specific law in your area before you get into this. Now, it's important to remember here that you need to be able to prove that whatever you're buying is a legitimate business expense, i.e. any personal use for the thing you're buying is rare or infrequent. It's also worth noting that with certain items like computers, they're actually classified as capital expenditure or CapEx rather than operational expenditure OpEx, which other items are. The difference between the two is that items classed as CapEx have a limit on what you can claim back in a single year. In the UK, for example, this is currently set to £1 million. So unless you're Gordon Gekko or Marquise Brownlee, then this probably isn't something you need to worry about. So with something like a laptop or a camera, for example, if you're a YouTuber, these things are going to be very easy to justify as legitimate business expenses. But for other things, it's a bit more tricky, so just make sure you check with your accountant first what you'll be able to expense and what you can't. In the UK at least, it's pretty straightforward. Just make sure you can prove to your accountant that you're using those items for business. So that's VAT or sales tax, which in the UK is 20%. But things don't end there, and we also need to think about income tax. So when you claim back business expenses, not only are you getting 20% VAT back on the product you're buying, but you're also reducing your business profit by buying equipment. Now this is a really important point, because basically in the UK, if you're a freelancer or business owner, there are really only two ways you can take money out of your business. The first is dividends, and the second is via a salary. Regardless of which of those options you choose though, you still have to pay some sort of income tax. In the UK, if you earn between £50,000 and £100,000 a year, regardless of which of these options you pick, the tax broadly speaking works out at 40% if you're earning over £50,000, and income tax actually jumps to 45% over £150,000. So to keep things simple, let's assume dividends payments are essentially taxed in the same way as income tax, which to a greater or lesser extent they pretty much are. Now let's say your business profit is $52,379, and that's a very specific number, but there's a reason we're choosing that, and I'll explain in a second. But essentially the tax you're paying on anything over 50k is 40%. So this means you're going to be taxed 40% on £2,379, which is £952. Now remember this number because it's going to be important in a second. So armed with this new knowledge, let's look at some practical examples. Let's say you want to buy a brand new 16-inch MacBook Pro for your business. Well, the 8-core i9 baseline model has a price of £2,799 in the UK. But because you're willing to buy a refurbished one that's basically like new, you can pick one up for £2,379 on the Apple Refurbished store, which is an initial saving of £420 or 15% off. Then on top of this, you take an additional 20% off of VAT when you claim that back, a further saving of £476. So our total saving so far is £896. But now, because you've removed this expense from your business profit, you are saving yourself 40% tax, which means a saving of £952 if you remember that number from earlier. So now, combined with our savings from the Apple Refurbished store and the VAT we're claiming back, our total saving is actually £1,848. This saving, when divided by the original price of the laptop at £2,799, is 66% of the original price, which effectively means you've just bought an almost brand new MacBook Pro for 66% off. Just think about that for a second. That's a saving of £1,848, which is an insane amount of money. And the best thing about this approach is you can do this for any product that you can legitimately use for your business. So let's look at an iPad for example, and there's an iPad mini 5 on the Refurbished UK website at the moment going for £339. Reduced from £399. So already that's a 15% saving, which is £60. Now let's take off the 20% VAT from the sales price, which gives us another £68. And as before, let's take off the 40% as well, which saves us another £136. So with all of that added up, that's a total saving of £264. So again, versus the full price item, that's a saving of 66%. And if you're willing to have an iPhone model or anything else that's a year or so old, like the iPhone 10, which by the way was a brilliant phone and I went straight from the 10 to the 12, you can save even more. So in this example, you're starting at 35% off already from the Apple Refurbished store, then another 20% VAT, then another 40% for the tax you're saving, and that's a total of 74% off. These are crazy numbers, guys, and I'd really recommend having a look into this. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. If you want to be smart with your money, then I'd really encourage you to think about where your tax is going, because you might be quite surprised, and then you can make even greater savings. Definitely go and check out Apple Refurbished as well if you've not heard of it before. And if you're thinking about becoming a freelancer, sole trader, or a business owner of any kind, then this is really going to save you a lot of money if you use it in the right way. Let me know if you enjoyed the video by dropping me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment below if you have any questions at all on this topic, or any suggestions for future videos as well. I'd really appreciate your guys' thoughts. Hope you enjoyed the video, and remember to subscribe for more.